Hello warlords! Boy do we have something special for you today! The CEO of MY.GAMES and general producer for Conqueror's Blade, the great Mr. C, has come all the way to our offices in Moscow to sit down with our very own senior producer, Alexey. They talked for quite a while and they answered some of your most pressing questions. And they had a little chat of what we can expect in the upcoming closed beta test and the future development of Conqueror's Blade. So let's jump in and have a look at this part one of our two-part interview.
I really hate the title of the CEO. I love to be the title. My only favorite title is the producer of the Conqueror's Blade. So I'm so happy to be here, to have a chance to say hi, to answer. I have no idea what I will be asked, but I will try my best to answer anything I can say.
Yes, so we have prepared actually a lot of questions for you, and these are the most burning questions from our community.
Okay.
Yes. And first of all, we really appreciate that you came to us and you're helping us to prepare the CBT, because this is very important phase for Conqueror's Blade, right? And it's coming right up. We have 3 siege tests behind us, and the next stage is something that we are very excited about.
Something big, yeah.
Yeah. So probably we can start with the first question, if you don't mind. And the first question
I do mind, but I have no chance to reject. I cannot reject you guys.
And the first question would be, what do you feel about Conqueror's Blade meta game? How do you imagine it?
Yes, that's a dream of us. We dreamed this world for like years. Seriously, we're working really hard because this is a game which can easily, intrigue a lot of imagination about the medieval dreaming. We wish we could be a knight, we could be a warlord in that area, and we want to play, we want to fight, we want to earn some glory. And so it's really complicated, it has a lot of systems, but if I really want to say is we spend years to create a sandbox. The sandbox, we open this world to everyone. We want everyone, you will be the part of the history, you are the creator of the history. So this is our deepest belief of this game, especially about the meta game.
Right, so when I hear sandbox word, I imagine that the build and the game that we are going to play during Conqueror's Blade closed beta testing is going to be a lot different from what we have seen already, right? So it's not like the siege tests, it's a lot more different. Are we going to see the whole big world of Conqueror's Blade?
Not really means, in the CBT, we want to open all the system, and all the system is not final, and we not open all the lands, but it will be quite different from what you guys saw in the siege test, because in the siege test we only open the core gameplay. So we know everyone loves siege, everyone loves to fight and shooting the artillery, commanding the units. But in the CBT, it's the first chance for our gamers. You have a chance to play in the real world, and you will see the whole world, actually the first 2 lands, and you will find there's a resource here. You can collect the resource, you can do your own manufacturing, and you can do the crafting, you can do the trading, and you can, be the lord of your own city. And if you are strong enough to conquer that city, and you will first time realize, oh my gosh, the whole world is so dynamic, which means it's up to our gamer to decide whether you want to love out your own city and to develop a higher technology for more fancy unit and weapons. So that's the debut of this sandbox system to everyone.
Okay, and do you think that when we start Conqueror's Blade closed beta testing, you will be able to take our players' opinions and our players' feedback into consideration of changing the game even more before OBT?
Yes, that's the whole point of the closed beta test. Actually, the closed beta test is the debut of all those metagame systems. And we have a lot of crazy thought, and we are working on. In the meantime, we will keep a really close eyes on the CBT test, and we will join the test with you guys. And so we want to feel and learn and listen whatever from our real warlords in the real game. And so no worry. So what I can promise in the OBT, we will create a totally big improvement from the CBT version, because after we get a suggestion from you guys, we know well is the right direction to go, whether we love the sandbox or not. So if you don't like sandbox, just feel free to let me know. I will do that.
And could you tell us, just maybe a couple of examples of what systems, what interesting things we're going to have in closed beta compared to the builds that we already had, compared to the siege test?
Siege test, okay. To be honest, I think the siege test is pretty much like a elementary school. So it just shows you some really basic thing about this game. And the CBT, we open the real world. The real world with a really brutality, freedom, and also the challenges to everyone. So for example, like if you really want to get some good weapon and unit, you have to work with other gamers, and you need to helping the people each other, so we can do the resource mining and we can do the crafting together, and also we need the trading among the gamers. So if you want to unlock high level, you have to be the owner of some city. And if you are the owner of city, the responsibility for the lord is to encourage everyone in your guild to leveling up the city. So the whole world is dynamic. So we try our best to make the world to looks as humble as possible at the beginning, because we won't leave that world to our gamers to say, hey, I want this city to my capital. So you dump whatever you have in that city, and that city will be awesome. So, which means what we show is only like 30% of our game, and another 70% of the game in the CBT we will firstly introduce the flavor of this world.
I have actually a very private question from our players. We won't tell anyone, but since you're here with me,
okay.
Could you tell me that you have already, as far as I know, you have already shown all this content in China? So you have already had CBT there with this build. How did Chinese gamers actually, did they approve of it? Did they like it?
First of all, the Conqueror's Blade is a quite unique game. So what really important for us is a fair. So we try our best to have only one version for everyone, all the gamers all around the world. So all the things we talked about, everything we are working on, we haven't showed that to the public yet. So we are secretly, developing that. We try our best to internally iterate that. So I think the CBT will be the great chance for us to show all the system to everyone. So no worry, there's no advantage, for some certain countries. We are fair. Because the most ambitious goal of the Conqueror's Blade, we want invite the gamers from whatever culture, whatever nationality.
Moving forward to a little bit more serious topic, which is the in-game balance, right? And first of all, our players were interested in the actually match balance, the battle balance.
Yeah.
So we have many classes, as many as 10, and we're going to have more, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So how do you plan to maintain balance of those classes in the battle?
That's a really challenging topic for all the games. So we have a belief. First of all, I think the whole balance has to be iterated with a real gamer. So it's almost no way to do that internally in a studio, because we only have hundreds of people. So we are working hard, but we cannot mimic the real gameplay from the real gamers. So actually, there's two things we can share with you guys. First, we are still iterating the design of each classes. We want each of them has a clear positioning in the battleground. The positioning doesn't mean 1 versus 1. 1 versus 1 is not our focus. Our focus is group fighting. It means the group means the heroes plus the units together. So we want in the battleground that each units and each heroes has their own classes, has their own positioning. And the second thing is in the CPT you will notice something we tweaked it a little bit, and we want to listen to you guys' feedback. And after CPT we continue our iteration and all the way to the OPT. So no worry, and the balancing of the game is something dynamic. And with the gamers, because we are not only by our personal experience, we were tracking the backend data and to know which classes is dominating, which class is too weak, so we can adjust that.
if I understand you correctly, the balance would depend not only just on the hero unit, right? But
Yeah.
also on his troops. Like probably some heroes will be more relevant in battle when they
Yes.
are alone, and at the same time some other heroes
Yes.
will be more powerful when they have their trusted soldiers
Yes.
behind them.
Yes.
Or
For
in
example,
front of
if you're
them.
archer, it's always good go with the shield units because they can provide you protections.
Yeah, obviously shield walls, and then you just shoot your enemies from behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that, we wrap up part 1. We'll have some very exciting news to share with all of you very soon, and part 2 of this interview will follow. So don't forget to smash that subscribe button, follow us on all our social networks, and don't miss any news. The community managers and I are waiting for you on our Discord server, so come on in and have a chat. I'll see you guys next time.